Hello, this is going to be an updated review of the Campark X35, relatively cheap, budget-friendly action camera that we purchased on Amazon around 1 year ago. An updated review because I did make a review already for this action camera, which has image stabilization and other features like time-lapse and slow motion. I did make a review, an initial review, and I think I was a little bit too critical of this camera, the Campark X35, because I said that the quality wasn't that special and that I wasn't very impressed. So this is just an update because I did want to say that although the quality isn't perfect, it's still very good, especially because you have several settings with good quality, like the 1080p 60 frames per second setting, which is what we are recording with right now. We are recording with 1080p 60 frames per second as our resolution setting. Again, this is what we're recording with the Campark X35. So in the initial review I said that I wasn't very impressed with the quality, but I think I sort of changed my mind after using this camera, because the battery life is actually very good. The 1080p 60 frames per second video quality is very good, and where this camera really is special, and that's why I think it's a little bit more money. This one I purchased for around $90. A lot of cheap cameras you can get them for. Again, this is the camera. We are recording this with this camera right now, the Campark X35. This one was around $90 that we purchased it for, and I think that's because it has image stabilization as a feature, and this is an important feature because I've actually used this feature quite a bit, image stabilization, and I really like it. So that definitely should factor into my review, and it didn't factor into my review before. I said, oh, well, the quality's not that great, but to have image stabilization as a feature is fantastic, because it means that when you're walking around, the video is not going to be shaky. And trust me, if you're walking around without image stabilization, if you're just walking like I am right now, I can try to hold the camera still, but you're going to notice that it's shaking. We don't have image stabilization turned on right now, but when you turn on image stabilization, it makes a huge difference in terms of stabilization, and there is a little bit of a decrease in the quality. It's not going to look as clear without the stabilization, but for a camera that's $90, it's to be expected. So this is the Campark X35. My review is this is an updated review with my thoughts, having used this camera a lot of the times with image stabilization. Again, this is not with image stabilization. I have to say that it's an important feature. It really adds to the value to know that you can turn on the image stabilization, you can walk around and have smooth video that is not shaky, and that is it's very important. The one thing I will say is, I think when I get too close to the microphone, if I'm speaking too loud into the microphone, I'm too close, then the audio is gonna be a little bit muffled, but that's okay, because this isn't really one of those cameras for commentary. It's more like you're just hearing the sounds, the regular sounds outside. It's not really for someone speaking into the microphone. Okay, so again, this is the camera, the Campark X35. My updated review, this is just to say, I think this is a good quality product with really a lot of features, some good accessories, and most importantly, you have the stabilization, which makes a big difference when you are walking around. So, good battery life, good features. You have slow motion, you have time lapse, and my favorite setting, my preferred favorite setting, is the 1080p 60 frames per second, which is what we are recording with right now. This is the camera right here. The Campark X35, budget-friendly, $90 camera. Certainly not the cheapest camera that you can buy, but definitely not too expensive. So here it is again, the Campark X35 budget-friendly action camera. Updated review, this is a good camera with a lot of resolution settings and image stabilization. If you'd like to see more videos with image stabilization, feel free to look at the channel. There's a few more videos. But that's it for now. We do not have image stabilization turned on right now. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. And yeah, I really do like these cameras. They're a lot of fun, especially even the ones that are not very cheap. It still shows you that under $100 you can have a camera that has image stabilization, lots of different features, some good accessories. The Campark X35, I think sometimes I'm a little bit too critical, because the camera that actually I bought before this one was the Campark X35, and that one really was definitely a special camera. The Campark X25, that one didn't have image stabilization, but it did have great clear video, which is, now I realize it's kind of not very common to have a crystal clear video on a less than $50 camera. So that was the Campark X25 budget friendly action camera. This is the Campark X35, which was released later. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. And as always, if you're interested in buying a cheap action camera, I just suggest doing two things. One, actually I suggest doing one thing. If you don't want to be disappointed in the product, I do recommend watching reviews and sample footage on YouTube, because that's the only way that you're not going to be surprised or disappointed. And if you go to Amazon and you look at some of the reviews, sometimes people post pictures and videos in their reviews, which is super helpful, so that you won't be disappointed and surprised when you see the quality of the video. Otherwise, since these are cheap, I'm never really disappointed, because I'm not really expecting a whole lot. And when I do expect a whole lot from these cameras that are less than $100, sometimes I am disappointed. But the key is just to realize that you're not paying that much money, and anything is really a bonus. So, cheap action camera, Campark X35, image stabilization, which is not turned on here. Very rugged feel to it. Has an underwater housing, which we have taken off for now. Campark X35 review, and we are recording with this camera. As you can see, we are recording 1080p 60 frames per second as a reference if you were curious what resolution we are recording at right now. Hope you can hear me well right now. I hope the audio is okay. Underwater housing is currently off.